Hey guys, so today I'm going to do 2 book reviews on books called All the Right Places and We Were Liars. The reasons why I liked All the Right Places was because it gave you all the emotions. Like, sometimes you would feel really sad for the both characters, sometimes you would feel really happy for them. It was about this girl and her sister died a couple of weeks ago, her twin sister. And she couldn't cope with it. She was getting loads of depression and getting really bullied at school. And she didn't know what to do. And she didn't really talk to anybody at school. And then one day, she had to be paired up with this boy. He was also really quiet. And they travelled together for the project. And they got to know each other really well. And he also had some difficult times in his life, and they were like helping each other overcome it. And why I liked it was because it was just a nice, like, happy ending story, and I really enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna read the blurb. I'm broken and no one can fix it. In the restaurant, we went playing through the gardenized, my words died too. They met on the ledge of the school bell tower, and so their story begins. It's only together that they can overcome it themselves. Also, I didn't say, when they met at the school bell tower, the boy had some, like, suicidal thoughts, but she saved his life because she, like, pushed him back. And he was like, thank you so much and stuff, that, like, you saved me from dying. But yeah, now I'm gonna read my favourite bits, which was the very first page, because it was just amazing. Is today a good day to die? This is something I ask myself in the morning when I wake up. In third period, when I'm trying to keep my eyes wide open, Mr. Schomper drowns on and on. At the supper table, as I am passing the green beans, at night when I'm laying awake because my brain wouldn't shut off due to all of the things to think about. Is today the day? And if not, then when? I'm asking myself this now as I stand at the narrow edge, 6 stories above the ground. I'm so high I'm practically part of the sky. I look down at the pavement below. The world tilts. I close my eyes, enjoying the way everything spins. Maybe this time I'll do it. Let the air carry me away. It will be like floating in a pool, drifting off until there's nothing. I don't remember climbing up here. In fact, I don't remember much of anything before Sunday. At least not anything so far this winter. This happens every time. The blanking out, the waking up. It's like that old man with the beard, VIP Vanting Winkle. Now you see me, now you don't. You'd think I'd have gotten used to it, but this last time was the worst yet because I couldn't fall asleep for a couple of days, or maybe a week or 2. I was asleep for the holidays, meaning Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. I can tell you what was different this time around. Only that's when I woke up, I felt deader than ever. Awake, yeah, but completely empty, like someone has been fasting on my blood. This day 6 of being waken up, and my first week back at school since November the 14th. So that was just the first page and a half. That was my favourite bit because I don't know, it just gave loads of tension because he kept on talking about like killing himself. I would probably rate this book a 9 because sometimes it just had like, sometimes I didn't really understand it, like which character was which. But it was, like I said, it was really good and I really enjoyed it. Now I'm going to go on to the next book. So the second book is We Were Liars, and I really, really enjoyed this book because, again, it gave you all kinds of emotions. It was about this girl called Kennedy, and she had her parents divorced in the very start of the book, and every single summer she used to go, because they were really rich, she used to go to her own island, and there would be the liars, they would call themselves that. It would be her 2 cousins, and one of her cousins was a boy and a girl, and the boy brought a friend called Gap. And when they were spending time together, they started liking each other, but it was never really clear. And the next summer, she couldn't go back because her dad was taking her to Europe, and nobody answered, and she didn't really know what was happening. And when she was at Europe, she hit her head, and like she couldn't remember anything that happened and anybody, and she had to take some pills. So the next summer she went there, like they were quite angry with her that she didn't come the next summer and stuff like that. And she was just, she started remembering stuff at the end of the book, and it was like really nice and cool to see. And the book showed how they were growing up, and I found that like really cool, and to see like how much they've changed and stuff. And now I'm gonna read the blurb. We were liars. We are beautiful and privileged. We are cracked and broken. A tale of love and romance. A tale of tragedy. Which are lies? Which are truth? You decide. So when I read the blurb, I was like, I'm so excited to read it because it built up loads of suspense. So now I'm gonna read some of the story. Welcome to the beautiful Sinclair family. No one is a criminal, no one is an addict, no one is a failure. The Sinclairs are athletes, tall and handsome. All are old money democrats. Our smiles are wide, our chins are square, our tennis serves aggressive. It doesn't matter if divorce sheds the muscle of our hearts so that they will hardly beat without a struggle. It doesn't matter if trust fund money is running out, if credit card bills go unpaid on the kitchen counter. It doesn't matter if there's a cluster of bill bottles on the bedside table. It doesn't matter if one of us is desperately in love. So much in love that equally desperate measures must be taken. We are Sinclairs. No one is needy, no one is wrong. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that is all you need to know. My full name is Caledon Sinclair Eastman. I live in Burlington, Vermont, with Mummy and 3 dogs. I'm nearly 18. I own a well-used library card and not much else. Though it is true I live in a grand house full of expensive and useless objects, I used to be blonde, but now my hair's black. I used to be strong, but now I'm weak. I used to be pretty, but now I look sick. It is true I suffer from migraines since my accident. It is true I do not suffer fools. I like a twist of meaning, you see. Suffer migraines, do not suffer fools. The word means almost as same as it did in the previous sentence, but not quite. Suffer. You could say it means ender, but that's not exactly right. So that was the beginning of the book, and it was probably my favourite part because she told us about her family and who she was, and she gave us loads of facts, but it was also really scary because you didn't know what her accident was. And at the very end of the story, she told you, and it was just so good. So yeah, I would probably rate this book a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and it's probably going up in my top 10 favourite books. So those were the 2 book reviews for this week, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!